Hello everyone. I want to start off the channel by, introducing the channel and talking about my shift from Broken Entertainment over to Renaissance Entertainment, because I'm moving away from all the culture war stuff, and I want to focus on reading and my writing and doing reviews and supporting independent creators and get away from all the negativity. But unfortunately, John Blanche died, and I want to cover that first. He was, if you don't know him, the fundamental artist behind Warhammer 40k, and a lot of his art was also in Warhammer Fantasy. But really, he's known for the foundational art of 40k. I mean, he's in everything, and his initial artwork set the entire stage for what does this universe look like, what do Space Marines look like, what do Imperial Guard look like, what do the Adeptus Mechanicus look like, what does the Emperor look like, and so on and so forth. And without him, we wouldn't have it. We wouldn't have the game. It would be nothing like it is today, and it just sucks. But I mean, the guy, he was 78 years old, and I really don't want to focus too much on, everybody's writing an article about, oh well, here's his life and here's what happened, and I want to talk about the art, because his art is what is really connecting everybody in the Warhammer 40k community and is so fundamental to the game existing in the first place. So this is a piece of his art here, and his style is really unique, and this is a big contribution to the whole thing, because it's not just good art, right? It's, you see his art, and if you know anything about him, you immediately know, oh yeah, that's him. You're not like, oh, that's pretty good piece of art, but I don't know who it is. And there's some of that for me in modern 40k. When you look at some of the modern art, it looks nice, but I don't know who it is that did it, and I don't really feel a signature look behind it, right? This look identified the setting. This look set everything up and was completely unique. I love these old Necrons. I mean, this is what I mean by some of this stuff. If you haven't played the game or you haven't been around the game long enough, some of this stuff set up the idea of something that is a popular army today that didn't exist back then. Necrons are an amazing example of that. Without his art, we'd have no idea what they look like. We wouldn't even know, they've changed a lot from this art, but everything you know about them is right there in the picture still. And there's so many examples of stuff that became a popular army later on that without him, I mean, at the time, when I started in 3rd edition, it was just background art. Like, hey, this is something alien. It might not have even had a name. Necrons, I believe, had a name at the time, but there were other examples that didn't. And now they do. Now they have lore and background, and before it was just like, hey, I drew this crazy art, I'm going to put it in here as to fill out the lore. And now you have Necrons, you have Adeptus Mechanicus, you have Sisters of Battle, all of whom did not. I mean, Sisters of Battle came out fairly quickly, but those other examples didn't have anything. And now, huge model ranges. And it took a long time to get there, but they're all based off of these pictures that in some cases were like, here's a picture. The entire theme and aesthetic of Necrons is in this one shot. And now everything is based around that. What you understand of Necrons is there now because of this. And the Eldar, of course, classic, incredible art of the Eldar that just really set 40k apart from everything else. Here you have your shot of Adeptus Mechanicus. I mean, nothing looked like this at the time. Nothing looked like this at all. And you didn't see it and go, what was that? What's this from? You see it and you go, oh, that's 40k. And there's so much detail even in the background, right? Here's a Titan. Here's another Titan. Here's the arm of a Titan. And your classic Sisters of Battle. This is the look. This is what set up what Sisters of Battle would look like forever. And it's impossible to overstate his impact on the 40k setting and the 40k community. And there's other, here's another one of his chaos pieces. This Eldar Pirate is another great example of a piece of art that really had nothing behind it, right? Eldar weren't known as pirates at the time. There was Eldar. And from this, you get Eldar pirates. From this, you get Dark Eldar. From one piece. There's more of that. Here's more Eldar. Adeptus Mechanicus. This here, Battlefleet Gothic. There is what your Imperial ships look like, and without him, this aesthetic doesn't exist. And this was actually the box art for Battlefleet Gothic back in the day when it came out. And it got a lot of people into Battlefleet Gothic, myself included, because you're like, oh, that looks really cool. And it's not. He apparently only retired from Warhammer 40k from Games Workshop like 3 years ago or something, and I didn't know that, honestly. I figured they were just getting more art from his huge giant contribution from the beginning. But no, apparently, he was still working there. And 40k wouldn't be the same without him, because I don't think it would exist. Or if it did exist, it wouldn't be so independent of other things. And I don't think it's going to be the same now that he's gone. Even though his art is no longer front and center in many cases, it is in everything still somewhere. And this is the inspiration for things somewhere. And, without him, no Necrons, no Dark Eldar, no Eldar Pirates. Sisters of Battle aesthetic is different. Adeptus Mechanicus, who knows what any of these things would even look like. But yeah, I don't think you can overstate it. So if you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time.